Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic. This time we are taking a look at another JGTC car. This one is the 1999 Honda NSX Mobil 1. Pretty cool looking car, pretty simplistic design, but that's what you'd expect from a Mobil 1 car. This is of course the 1999 car racing the 1999 JGTC series, although I'm not too sure how it got along. As far as JGTC cars go in this game, this one's probably the second most likely to do well here. Of course the Skylines have all-wheel drive and the most power, which gives them an advantage, but the Supra's front-engined rear drive, which isn't so good. This is mid-engined rear drive. And has pretty decent figures, 608 horsepower, 1,180 kilograms, a fair amount of torque as well, so decent enough figures. Hopefully it's a little bit more controllable than the Supra was. Anyways, it is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Cultus Pikes Peak Edition, which set a time of a 28.209, which of course the NSX is not going to get close to. This car's sort of rivals are the Toyota Supra GT, the Castrol, and the Dodge Viper GTSR, and maybe even the Skyline Autobacks, because I don't think that did hugely well around here. It did pretty well, but it didn't do amazingly well or anything like that. Ooh, I've just realised this one is actually the only JGTC car I think that is actually naturally aspirated, which will actually give it an advantage, as strange as that sounds, because of course you don't have that. Ooh, God. You don't have the turbo kicking in, which is quite nice. Right, let's see what we can do. The issue with these sort of race cars really comes down to downforce, really. We've seen a lot of these race cars that have the potential to do well, have very good stats, but they often fall to pieces just because they don't have the low-speed downforce, basically. They require downforce to get round corners, cars like this, and around a track like this there isn't really a whole lot of places where you can really stick it down to the mat. So yeah, that does sort of mess these cars up a little bit. 31.691 on our opening lap. Can't remember where the Supra's at. I think it's a 31.2, I want to say, something like that. So yeah, of course, as usual with these race cars, pretty quick cars, very upset by the bumps that you do encounter around this course. So yeah, as you'd of course expect from a car such as this, and as usual for the race cars, having a lot of issues around that final corner. The race cars really do not like that final corner, because that final corner's sort of the final corner and the first corner of this track, very similar in the sense that they are corners which basically require you to chuck the car in a lot of speed, and then these cars don't particularly enjoy sort of having their speed shaven while cornering. That usually messes these cars up badly because, again, it's a downforce issue basically. So yeah, right. Give it a good run up to the straight. Hopefully this can be the breakout lap we need, or maybe it won't be because I'll spin the car. Alright, I guess it'll be the final lap for the NSX to prove itself. Out of all of them, the JGTC cars, this is probably the most pleasant of all of them to drive. You have no rear end grip though. It really does. Like, the Supra and everything felt like it had no grip whatsoever, which was a bit better than this, because this has really good front end grip. It's just that rear end, and also that unsettles the car massively, which doesn't help. 39.890. Try to stay off the curbs. Try and deliver the power nicely. It's all just a balancing game. Just trying to be careful with the car mostly at the moment. Seeing if I can get every ounce of lap time that we can out of it. First gear's not a good showing in these cars. The front wheel drive cars like first gear a lot. These cars not so much. Oh, but we are going to get a good run there. Run down to the line at 31.032. I think that is actually a really good lap time. That does beat the Supra, does beat the Team Arica Viper actually as well. But I'm not too sure as to... I think this is worse than the Skyline. I would assume so anyway, because I think the Skyline's up there with the Alpha 155 touring car and so on. But that's actually a pretty good showing from a rear-wheel drive race car. Yeah, as I said with the NSX, incredible car to drive. This thing would be amazing on an actual track, of course you'd expect. The issue with it is, though, it's just that rear end does not feel like it gets particularly much grip through the lower speed corners. But yeah, nevertheless, a pretty good lap time. Let's go see where it places on our leaderboard. Onto the board then, and the Mobil 1 NSX goes into 13th place with a 31.032, a rather respectable time. Not quite beating the Renault Espace F1, but it does beat the Viper RTE10, Viper GTS RT Marica, and the Toyota Castrol Supra GT, which is pretty impressive. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hot Lap Classic. If you have cars you'd like to request for this series, you can do so in the comment section and go to the description for a full car request list form. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.